All right, are you ready?
Yeah? This episode is brought to you by Carlisle Tattoo Co. Bold, bright and everlasting. You can find us at 178 Carlisle Street, St Kilda, Melbourne, Australia. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Carlisle Studios. My name is Hal Hunter and I'm here with...
Bella Hunter.
Hello, Bella.
Hello, Hal.
This is like the first time you haven't stayed at our house in a long time.
I know. We're separating everyone.
No, we're not. We're not. But it's an interesting morning. I feel like I'm coming in fresh because I haven't actually seen you in all night.
I know. It's been a sad, sad night. Well, not really. I've had a great night. But
What were you doing?
last night, Courtney at Pokio Drift, seamless plug there, we did a little pottery class. It was with Trema Objects, Trema. She's actually just started doing laser at Chapel with Kelly. So she ran that and it was so much fun. So I stayed at your parents' place, which your parents weren't there, so it was just me in the house alone. Because that went till like 9 o'clock and obviously we live an hour and a half away.
Yep.
So, yeah, I was on my Pat Malone last night and you were sending me photos of you and the dogs cuddling.
I sent you one photo and we weren't cuddling.
You were? Oh, no, sorry.
No, we weren't.
You actually don't know this. I looked at you on the dog camera I was at Pottery.
I knew you would be watching.
And everyone thought you cuddling the dogs with like your head on Cuddy's head was really cute.
Oh, so other people were watching?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it was good.
That's awkward.
No, it was cute. They only saw like a little glimpse.
Who's coming in now?
This is Jackie.
Jack. He's here.
Morning, Jack. Bit late.
He's back from his weekend four-wheel driving in the fucking sand dunes in Robe. Yeah, he wants to get a Toyota Hilux now. and a dirt bike, that's what he said.
I say get them all.
Weekly recap, Bella. You've already started yours, so just keep going.
Yeah, okay. Well, so my weekly recap since we recorded last, I'm pretty sure I hadn't yet done the outline of that big back that I started.
I don't think you had either.
No.
The vase with flowers and that.
Yeah, so let's kick off from there. So I did a back outline of a vase with flowers and then like some swallows flying around it. That was really fun. She did very, very well, sat really still.
Yep, good.
It's always a positive. And then, I also made the dogs' pajamas, everyone. Yep, sewed them.
You did, with dinosaurs on them.
Yep, I did. Haven't posted a photo yet. I haven't gotten a good photo, so maybe I'll have to get Hal to pose with them.
Yeah.
I also tattooed a couple who have travelled down from, I can't remember the little town, but it's near Orange. It starts with M, so I'm just going to go with that. Sure. And they were lovely. They actually gave me the nicest compliment I think I've ever had since I've tattooed. And they said it was the most enjoyable experience because I was so lovely.
Yeah, just talk yourself up a bit more. I'm
just going to self-promotion here. So sorry to all the customers who haven't felt that. There's probably lots of them. Did some stuff on them. And then the other day I did a knee ditch tattoo of a rose, which was really fun.
On my mate Damo.
Yeah, on Damo. And then the day after that, which was actually yesterday, I tattooed Damo's best friend, Lockie. Also Hal's other friend, Lockie. And I tattooed a Hanya mask on his foot and he was not very happy with me.
You did a lot of other tattoos that you didn't mention, but...
Have I?
Well, I feel like you've only said 3 tats. You've skipped over a lot. Not that you have to go through them all.
I feel like if I go through all of them, that's a bit boring. It'll take ages.
No, that's true. And then you did pottery last night.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm just choosing some highlights.
Okay.
I can tell you some lowlights, but I don't think many people want to hear it.
We do not.
No. Cool. Oh, and I got a parking ticket yesterday, which you don't know about.
Great. Where?
Out the back because you had the buzzer for the car park. It's only $92 though.
That's a lot of money, Bella.
It is, but it's not as if it's like the 241 that I got out the front ages ago.
But you have a key to the car park. You could get out, walk through, open the door and go through.
I know, but it was just all a bit too much.
Oh, so that's 2 minutes of work's not worth $92, is it?
Yeah, I'm really sorry. Look,
that's
guys, it
frustrating.
happens. It happens. Hey, you got a speeding ticket not long ago.
Ages ago.
Well, that was just poor.
Because I was going to miss my flight.
Well, you should have gone earlier.
Yeah.
Yep.
I should
Anyway,
have.
hit me up with your weekly recap.
Well, we recorded with Mickey last week, which is, I think all the responses to that episode have been pretty positive.
Yeah.
Well, they've all been positive.
Yeah.
So that was good. Have just done a
Sorry, just while you're saying that one was positive, do you receive many negative?
No.
Yeah, okay. Have you ever received a negative?
Well, I feel like if someone really likes something, they'll go out of their way to tell you. But if they don't like it,
They'll just be quiet.
They're just not going to say anything.
True.
I put it up last night saying reviews and stuff and didn't get any negative ones. So
It's not even negative. The only ones that I've had is like, oh, this episode was too short.
yeah, we went back up to 5 out of 5 stars.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
we were on 4.9 for a while, so someone was dogging us.
Yeah.
That's all right though. Yeah, just worked on a few sleeves.
You have so many sleeves going at the moment.
I do, yes. Yeah, mostly all black and grey stuff. A few palm size stuff. Then we hit the weekend. It was putrid surfing conditions. I resprayed this surfboard that I got.
Graph boy style.
No, it's not graph style, Bella.
I just think it's funny you with spray cans.
I got this surfboard made in 2012 to go on a boat trip in Indonesia. And I've only ridden it, I would say, less than 5 times.
Yeah.
And it had this really good spray job on it. It was like black on the rails, like the edges.
Like lime green?
It faded into lime green and then faded into white in the
I
middle.
remember that.
And I don't know why, but at some point in the last a bit over 10 years, I decided to spray paint heaps of my surfboards. But just like stupid shit. Like nothing good. And then I fucked that one up with the paint. And then ultimately I've like stripped all the paint back off it.
Yep.
And it was sitting in the surfboard rack in the garage. And because it's at the end, I never write it, I put it at the end. But I could see it the most.
Every
and
time you see it, you get sad.
I fucking hated what it looked like. So
it's not as if you write it. Why didn't you just get rid of it?
No, why?
Memorabilia.
I'm either going to throw it away because it's worth nothing, or I'm just going to keep it for the one chance that I do write it in the future.
And you snap it because it's wafer thin.
Yeah, it'll be really thin because I've put that much acetone to get the paint off on it. So I got a bit artsy, and I will put a photo on my Instagram actually about this when it comes up. And we went to Bunnings, shit quality spray paint they have at Bunnings, but whatever. So I spray painted the whole gloss white.
Yeah.
Then did red on the rails, fading into the center, which is white. Then, this is like, you think it's real artsy, but it's just like
I don't.
technique that everyone knows. Is you put the washing detergent all over it in like an abstract pattern. Then you spray over the top of the washing detergent with whatever your top color is. I did black. And then when it all dries, you spray away the detergent.
I don't know why you're looking at me being like,
I'm explaining
you're
it to you.
really impressed. You think this is artsy. And I'm just thinking like, you're like a little boy crafting.
I thought it looked really good. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Looks good in my surfboard rack.
Looks better.
Bit retro style.
Yeah.
So then I was really happy with that.
That's great.
Then I was on the tools that day.
Wow, what did you do?
Plumbing apprenticeship.
True.
With my good mate Ariel.
He gets mentioned every week.
Well, I see him every week. That's why.
True.
And we did go surfing afterwards. Horrible conditions, nothing worth talking about. But we went to his house. He's building a house in Mount Eliza. Sick house. But it's on a really steep block, and he needed to carry a air conditioning condenser. I think that's what it was. All the way up the steep block because it's too steep to drive, and they don't have a driveway yet.
And his wife couldn't lift it with him.
Well, it weighs 110 kilos, you were saying.
Fair.
And I got the tradie shorts on.
Yeah,
I
your
put
hard
my
yakka
fucking
shorts and
my boots on, and I rolled up there, and I actually loved it. But granted, we did fuck all work, and I was just walking around his new house.
You were walking around your best friend's new house.
Yep.
And you and him, when you're together, are like giddy little children. Like
No,
you both
we're
get. Yes,
not.
you are. You get the giggles.
I don't think we get the giggles, Bella.
You definitely do.
No.
Yes.
No.
I'm gonna have to video it one day to prove to the world.
Yeah, and since then, just been tattooing normally. Done some really fun tattoos this week. Heaps of palm size stuff. I'm doing a back outline today, big dragon. I've drawn it already, so hopefully.
Yeah, I think you posted it on your story the other day, didn't you?
Yes, hopefully he likes that.
If not,
We were down at Vintique yesterday. That was fun. Well, you were only there for half the day because you came up here.
yeah, travel and tatter.
And yeah, so it's been, and I surfed yesterday morning.
Yeah, that's right.
And that actually leads on to a question that I was going to go into it later, but I just read it before. Fuck, where is it? I just got to find it quickly. Sorry, everyone. Right. Oh my God, what am I looking at? Where is it?
Did you pluck your monobrow last night?
No, I did not.
Oh, it looks fun. It looks not as messy.
We're going to go back to the questions later, but there was just one here. So you tattooed my mate Damo on Tuesday.
Yep.
Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, and then you surfed with him on Wednesday. We do not
Wednesday
recommend
morning.
this.
Wednesday morning, yesterday morning, I surfed with him, which was be less than 24 hours later. I wouldn't recommend it, but
you can't control a grown man, can you?
and they all heal fine. So it's up to your own discretion. Every artist will have a different opinion. But the question was, how long do you wait for new tattoos to heal before surfing?
Is that actually the question?
That was the question. It was the first question we got. How long do you wait for new tattoos to heal before surfing? I would say
Hal personally,
judge it on the quality of the water you're swimming in. If you're swimming in
that is such a shit answer.
St Kilda Beach is full of shit.
Yeah, I know that.
I wouldn't be swimming in there if you've got pristine open ocean.
But regardless, if you're bathing in water, like if you're sitting in water for fucking 5 hours after a tat, that's not recommended.
No, I wouldn't do it straight away. I would say, like, I always recommend you can hop in the water and stuff when you get in the shower and your tattoo doesn't sting anymore. That means it's closed over. It's usually about 3 days.
Mine sting for life after it.
Yep.
So,
but anyway, I will go through it later. But
Hal
there was a
doesn't
lot of
really do
responses.
like the aftercare really for a tat because he just prefers to live his life enjoyably.
I
and go
also
surfing.
have been tattooed once in the last year, so
Yeah. You never really cared
much.
though.
yeah. So Bella, just quickly
Yes,
here,
Hal?
you and I are talking on the podcast, but there's actually someone else here with us.
Oh my God, that was bad. Fuck, that was so bad, Hal. Oh my God.
Yep. Well, I was just writing last night, writing notes about how we were going to say this. But
Well,
anyway,
you can say it
you can say
because
it.
I'm cringing so hard.
Yep. Well, Bella and I are having a child
Yep.
by choice.
Yep.
And Jack just went, yay, out the back.
Jack already
Yep.
knows, so this isn't us telling Jack.
Yeah, we've been together for a long time, married for over 5 years.
finally did the
And we
deed.
finally
Did
kissed.
more than kissing.
Yep. So I feel like I'm taking your limelight here.
Nah, you can take it.
Yeah, you're not very talkative about it, are you?
I don't know. It's such a iffy topic to talk about.
Why?
I don't know. Like, first of all, I don't like hearing other people's pregnancy stories.
Okay, yeah.
Like, oh, when I was pregnant, I did this. Because I'm like, well, you know what? This is going to be a bit heavy right now.
Oh, we're getting heavy.
You know what? I've felt so shit for the last 13 weeks. Well, I found out when I was like fucking 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm
So
13 weeks now. But
So we can tell everyone.
yeah, technically you can tell everyone.
Yeah.
I have felt so shit, so nauseous, tired. I have not enjoyed one single second of it. So I'm like, I'm just miserable.
Well, I've noticed some big changes with you
What?
because previously you were a real morning person
Yeah, I'm not now.
and now you're not, but I have become even more of a morning
And
person.
it's really pissed me off because
I
I
just-
love being a
I
morning
put
person.
my morning alarm an hour earlier now
I know, and it's really annoyed me.
just so we can get up, do stuff.
Yeah, and so the mornings I wake up and I'm instantly nauseous and then I go brush my teeth and I gag. It's disgusting. So I'm grumpy.
Yeah, you don't like hearing people's pregnancy stories,
And I'm
and I don't like hearing people complain about being pregnant when they chose to have a child. So,
this is the amount of sympathy I get. So welcome to my world,
I
everyone.
did. We spoke about it, and you said yes, you'd like a child. So then I feel like you can't complain about the
No,
process.
I can still complain. Dal, if you felt nauseous every single day and like you're
but-
sweaty and then you
But
get
Bella,
shaky.
you don't know how I feel. This is the thing. You said yesterday.
I'm telling you how
were
I
like,
feel.
You were like, you would never feel this bad. I was like, you can't say that.
No, I said
'Cause you don't know.
I said you would not tolerate feeling this shit.
But
like,
you don't.
you would be
but
so
you don't
grumpy.
know how I feel. I could, if we could
Dal,
compare
if you get
how
a
you feel.
sniffle,
Bella,
you're in the worst mood.
my pain every day could be 1,000 times more than you, but you would never know because you can't compare.
That's true. You can't compare. But
Unless we're doing
I
the
know
same
what you're
thing.
like when you're unwell and you are intolerable. So
Bella, life is pain, and you choose to live it.
yeah, and I'm just letting you know that you're going through this with me. So when I complain, that's me being
Yeah.
like, we're in this together, mate. You chose to create life with
Yeah.
me. You got to deal with my battles.
So
I'll be happy one day, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Maybe when the kid's here.
hopefully you come around to it. That would be ideal.
When I stop feeling nauseous every
Yeah.
second, I might smile.
And this is the crazy thing. So I've written down the weirdest notes. I wrote in capitals, pregnant, in brackets, announced Monday, dash, need photo.
Yeah, because you sent me the notes that you wrote for this, because obviously we weren't in the same house last night. And I literally read it as I was going to sleep and cackled, laughing, being like, what the fuck is this bloke thinking? Yeah. What photo are you going to do?
We need a photo to post on, because this comes out Monday morning, 6 a.m. We have to put up a corresponding Instagram post at the same time saying...
So what kind of photo are you thinking?
It'll just be a photo of us together. Well, probably like in a field... naked, and I'll be holding your belly and stuff like that. No,
that's not happening.
We won't be doing that.
All right,
just a photo, because
I'm leaving the photo up to you. You're creative director of this. I will be there.
This is like Inception for the people who will be listening to this.
Yeah.
Because all the things I'm saying we're going to do, we will have done just as they're listening to this.
Yeah. So now you've got all of the pressure. It's
pretty easy.
Of what is this photo going to look like?
It's just going to be a
I
nice
don't care.
photo of us together with the dogs. Ideally, I was thinking about this in the way to work, but I don't think we can get them to sit for a self-timer photo.
Well, I'll have snacks in my pocket. I'll just fill my pockets with roast chicken.
We're going to do it this way online. You're going to post it on your Insta, but you're going to invite me as a collaborator on the post, so it comes up on my feed and goes on my profile as well.
Technology these days.
Yeah. And we're going to direct people to the podcast to hear about
me being grumpy about our big announcement.
We're going to put limited info in the post and say, like, hear about it on the podcast, which is going to be called, working title, It's a Boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was thinking...
Well, now you've just said, but people will have to...
But people already know it's a boy.
Yeah.
Well, the people we've told already know. So
yeah.
Yes.
A miniature Hal.
We're having a boy. And you know what's crazy?
What?
So all my oldest friends from when we played junior footy, which is like my core friendship group.
Yeah, Fitzroy Fight Club, which we've spoken about
Fitzroy
before.
Football Club, but we call it the Fight Club. So Brock had a boy.
Yep.
Dylan, just at the end of last year, Brock had a boy. Dylan had a boy just the other week.
Yes, a few days old. So congratulations to them,
yeah.
Dill and Juz and little Max.
And
another friend of yours from that group, who we're not mentioning,
is having a child, but
that's up to them.
They haven't told us any info. And then we're having a boy.
Yeah.
And Bobby had a boy the other week.
Bobby just had a boy?
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Everyone's having boys.
Yeah. And I feel sorry for the girls that are born in this year, because this is going to be a lot. A lot of strong personalities coming through.
No, it's just very interesting. And there's one guy in our friendship group, Gabe.
He's the one that's left in the Fitzroy Fight Club that has not announced that he's pregnant. We're assuming that they're not.
But he's only been with his partner for 1 year. And we were all
pressure's
messaging
on.
Going, fuck, bro, there's a lot of pressure on you right now. So, yeah, exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
So on the weekend, I also did clean out the spare room for it.
I've put Bella on a big limit on what we're buying.
No, you've actually put me on a lot of changes in my life that I am actually going to find really difficult in regards to preparing for the baby.
Like basic shit, like the dogs don't get to come in the bed.
Yeah. I'm really going to struggle. And like, I'm not allowed to, like, we have to leave them outside for a little bit more now. And I can't just let them in whenever they look at me.
We leave them outside, Bella, when we eat our dinner, because they come and stand right next to you and try and get your food.
And while I'm on my last mouthful and I'm still chewing, I'm already letting them inside, and Hal tells me off.
It worked perfectly last night. They were very obedient.
Well, I know.
With me.
I was watching on the camera.
Yeah.
But they did look a bit cold outside, so.
So what does this mean for your tattooing career, Bella?
I don't really know.
Are you going to transition into like mum blogging?
No. Absolutely not. I don't know. I feel like it's a bit of a tricky one because you don't really know how you're going to go when there's a baby in the mix.
Yep.
So my thoughts have been, I'm just going to see what happens when it happens. I have no plans.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, what would be ideal would be after it comes to have maybe like 2 or 3 months off.
Mm-hmm. Just a holiday.
Yeah. Go on a vacay, leave Hal at home, he can work.
Yep.
And then after that, drop the kid off on mum and dad's doorstep and I go back to work.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I would like to work part-time after it. Mm-hmm. I say part-time, like 4 days a week.
Yep, okay. Nice.
But I just don't know. Life might be incredibly tricky when it happens.
Just have to wait and see.
So I'm not making any grand plans.
Because going off how I was a child for my parents, I think you're going to have a little bit of a difficult time.
I think it's going to be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I was a really difficult child. So
I was not a difficult child. I was very
I think you
needy.
were a very difficult child, Bella. You just like to say you weren't.
No, my parents
hearing your
say
parents
that I'm
talk
an
about it
angel.
on the weekend, you were very, very difficult.
I was needy. I just needed like someone to be within sight.
Energetic.
Yeah, I had a lot of energy. So pretty much we're fucked.
Well, we're not fucked. I'll just embrace it. I
Well, now you're a morning person.
don't
so it's
have
all
any
good.
plans for my career. Obviously, I'm going to keep tattooing, keep the shops going and everything like that. I do, however, have in my mind that I want to be present. I don't want to be like, oh, I've got to go to work and stuff like that.
You and I have always been on the same page in regards to that. We both
Yeah.
want to be there as the child is growing up and be able to spend as much time with them, but also go to work to earn a living and do what we love.
Yeah, so make sure you get a booking in before October.
Yeah, it's due October.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll be tattooing after that, 100%.
So I'm going to slow down my bookings around September
Yep,
because obviously I'm going to be fat.
just to celebrate your birthday.
Yeah, just for my birthday.
Birthday month.
The big 30th this year too.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's all downhill.
Okay, yeah, so play it by ear.
Yeah.
And when we have decided more things, obviously we'll be transparent with them online and let everyone know.
And this is obviously why, like, we've had so many questions about if we're going to go up to Sydney soon and tattoo and all of that. But at the moment, it's just not very viable.
Yeah. Yeah, we just
With
don't
the
know exactly.
circumstances.
And I'll post the link to the live stream and stuff for the birth and everything
Yuck.
on Instagram and that. So
That's disgusting. You're like way more about this than I am at the moment. It's freaking me out.
I just think there's so many opportunities here,
I
Bella.
think because I'm the one going through it, I'm like, this sucks. I want it to be over. And
Yeah.
you're laughing at me being like, haha, I'm just my normal self.
I'm feeling better than ever. After
I have like
started
adult
doing the
acne. It's
last,
terrible.
You don't have acne, Bella. Come on.
You should
The
have a look.
last 30 seconds of every shower I've had for a long time now is being cold and it's making me feeling very good.
Yeah, and I can't do it because if I tried to do it for a few times
You're just
and
a
I
weak.
get so cold that I just start
You're just
gagging.
weak, Bella.
Yeah, mentally very weak.
When
I
you
am.
tried to get in our ice bath one time, it was actually embarrassing.
I had to leave
I was
my
looking
feet
around
out.
to make sure no neighbours could see you because it was embarrassing.
Shut the fuck
It
up.
actually was, Bella. It's like
you said you were impressed. I was in there for 4 minutes.
after you got out fucking 2 times. It's like my brother when we used to do
Irrelevant.
ice baths when I was playing footy. I used to take him to the club and we'd do ice baths.
And he would wear woolly socks.
And he'd wear socks and shit in the water, and then try and lie there and like keep his toes out of it and stuff. I was like, mate, this fucking just
Your
cold
brother's
water.
way funnier than you.
He called me yesterday. Well, I called him. He's a bit pissed off that he's going to be annoyed at this as well. He's
Ripped
pissed
him.
off that I said everyone he wasn't a good surfer on the podcast last week.
He's not.
well,
So now he can be mad at me.
He's actually. It depends what you're comparing it to.
But do you know what? Ray, like, he thrives on people saying he's not good at something. He'll be like, fuck that. I'm going to get better. He does because it annoys him.
Yeah, but I put a lot of pressure on him to get.
Yeah,
good
you're a
at
bit of an
things.
arsehole to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, next topic.
Okay. Well, that was all I had written down. Plus, I've the responses. So I was thinking that last night. I was like, we're going to announce the pregnancy, blah, blah, blah. And because I was like, I'll just give you a breakdown because you might have noticed that I wasn't in the main lounge room last night a lot of the night.
I did notice.
Yeah, we were in the front one.
Because the doggy camera's only in the main lounge room.
Yeah, we were in. I knew that.
This sounds like we live a bougie life.
No, it doesn't. It was just in our second lounge room.
One's like a tiny couch off of our kitchen.
No, it's got a TV and a fire, like an indoor fire and stuff.
Yeah.
So we had the fire on because I know the dogs like the fire.
Yeah,
And
they
then
cuddle
I was
in front
like-
of it.
I was trying to watch a show that you don't watch,
Which was?
City on the Hill. It's on Stan.
Yeah.
And
See, I thought you were going to watch Jurassic Park 2.
no, I wasn't going to watch a movie, but I was laying with or sitting with the dogs. Cuddy was like, she gets a bit weird when you're not there, so she was looking out the door a lot and stuff. So I tried to settle her down. She was fine in the end. Tinny was sitting by the
Sure she
fire,
was.
and I was watching City on the Hill, but because that TV's real far away from the modem and there's shit internet down the peninsula, it always cuts out and it was fucking doing my head in. It would like I
You
watched
get so
like
aggressive
2 minutes
about
of it and it would like have to buffer and shit like that. So then I was like, fuck this. I turned it off, put the music on, and then I just read my book for a while. So I was at home, fire, candles on, reading the book, dogs were chilling. And
What'd you have for dinner?
I got one of the apprentices at Vintique
to go get
and get me noodles during the day, and then I had that for dinner. God. It was awesome.
See, the shepherd's pie that I made is just rotting in the fridge.
No, we ate that the night before.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to go have a shower, and then I went out and laid with the dogs and watched City on the Hill on that main TV.
You were living your best life.
It was pretty good.
I'm glad you missed me.
I can't complain. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to put on my Instagram. So this has been a long story. I put on my Instagram saying like, hey, what are your thoughts on the podcast, questions, all this sort of stuff. And we got fantastic response about it.
Fantastic.
It was. I was really surprised.
Okay.
So I'm just going to read through a few of them here, and we're not pumping ourselves up. So Nicholas Lowe with 2 S's says, love the potties, brah. C. Hill, most valuable player. Cody Hill. It's like it's like brah C. Hill MVP. And I was reading it, going, what the fuck does that even say? So he's saying he loves the potties.
And Cody Hill's the best on it.
And Cody Hill's been the most valuable.
Maybe we need to give Cody his own episode without us. And let him really shine.
I feel like Cody should have his spin-off.
Right,
have
Rivals.
his own podcast.
Okay.
You fucked.
His would get way better traction because he'd talk about fucked shit.
I text Bobby last night because I got heaps of people saying would love to have Bobby on, all this sort of stuff.
What did he say?
But he's been real elusive about it, so you know what?
He's being a pain in the ass.
If he wants to come on, he can come on, but I'm not going to keep asking him. I haven't actually asked him, but
we've mentioned it so many times and he gives us nothing.
I can't tell if he wants to come on or not.
He does. He just, I don't know. He's a weird one.
Can't speak for him.
I can.
He's on holidays in Sydney at the moment.
No, he's back today.
Well, yeah,
and it's back. Not holidays. He was working up there.
Well, barely.
True. Every time we messaged him, he's in the pool with the baby.
What's your next step forward / goal as a tattoo artist? Well, we sort of covered it just before.
My goals are limited because I'm going to be fat and with child. But my main goal prior to that happening is to just do as much large scale work and like finish off like the backs and whatever that I've started before the baby's out.
Yep.
Because that will do my head in if these people are walking around with an unfinished back piece before summer.
Yeah. And I don't.
What's yours?
Mine is just to work solidly until October when we're having the child, and then work out a good work arrangement coming back, because I will want to work. Obviously, we need to earn money and stuff like that. So, that's really it. Mine's just to get through to June, which is when I go on that surf trip for 4 days over the weekend, and then when I get back from that, it's like get through to October and just assess from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one's for you. They've written Bella specifically.
Oh, I got singled out. I like that.
And I've actually thought about this question. What's a reasonable day rate price?
Well, my day rate price, I'm hoping it's reasonable, is $1,200.
Aussie dollars.
Aussie dollars. Hal's is also $1,200.
I've got some caveats on mine though.
Yep.
So I was actually talking to my customer about this yesterday. And to answer the question, I think a reasonable day rate price is value for what you achieve.
I agree.
So my day rate that I quote people is $1,200.
Because that's the most that I'll ever charge for a day rate.
I will obviously never charge more than that. But I adjust it in the session based on what we get done if it's down to me. If you come in, for example, and you have to tap out after
3 hours.
3 hours, then it's like I'll feel bad about charging you the full day rate, but it's like you booked the whole day and I could have got someone else in, and that's on you. But if feel like I haven't achieved the quantity of tattoos that I wanted to, or I feel like I've been going slow, or I had a lunch break or stuff like that.
We account for the lunch break in the price. If we stop for lunch,
I'm charging you less.
Yeah, we definitely charge less.
Yeah, so I've got in my mind, if someone books in, for example, to work on their sleeve for a whole day, I've got in my mind how much I'd like to achieve.
Yeah.
And if it's less than that, then I'll just adjust the price accordingly.
Yeah.
So it ranges between
I would say mine
$900 and $1,200.
Yeah. I was going to say $800 to $1,200, depending on what we get done. Because I've had a bunch of people that have tapped out at like 2 or 3 p.m.
Yep.
And we've only done a few palm-sized pieces. And that, to me, I would feel terrible charging them $1,200 for that.
And I've just always, my day rate's been at 1,200 for a while, and I sort of, the way I worked that out was I used to work from essentially 10 a.m. and then till 8 o'clock. So it was like long days, and I was like, I could do 5, say, palm-sized tattoos pretty comfortably during that time on 5 different people. So that's $250 each, which works out to $1,250, and then I'd take $50 off because it's only one person. But over time, like, because we live further away now and stuff like that, it's like my working days getting shorter. So now I like to be leaving by 6.
Yeah.
So for a day rate, I do 11 till 6, and that's why I try and get as much done as possible. That's the goal. Yeah. So I would say a reasonable day rate is a price that is you get value for what you've actually gotten tattooed.
Yeah. Like, we haven't just pulled a number out of thin air. We've figured out how much we could get done if we were fully booked with other clients.
Yeah.
And if you're reserving an entire day, we could have booked other clients.
Yeah, for sure.
We're covering that.
I mean, it varies across the industry and stuff like that. And some people are really, really strict on it, and some aren't. But I've always just gone like, you sort of just get charged for what you get. Yeah. In my mind. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, and like, people definitely have budgets in their mind of what they want to spend. So if you don't want to spend over a certain amount, just don't ask what the day rate is. And if it's too much, then just book in for a few at a time and chip away.
Well, there was another question in here, which I can't see right now, but it said, what are some green flags for customers? Because we did red flags once, so green flags. And I would say something like, well, it's all just about transparency for me. So it's like, if you have a budget and you're like, hey, I've only got $500, and you want to get more than one tattoo and stuff like that,
say it beforehand.
The only thing you have to do is just be upfront about those things, because then the artist knows, all right, cool, they want to get 2 tats. They've only got $500, or they've got I shouldn't say only $500, a lot of money. They've got $500, so it's like, how many tattoos am I happy to do for that price? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? Depending on size, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, because the worst case scenario is I do 2 tattoos on you, say I charge you $400, and then I go, sweet, just $400, mate, and you go, oh man, I've only got $300. Yeah. Because then it's like awkward as fuck for you. It's awkward for me because I don't know what to say. Yeah. And all this shit could have been just cleared up by just at the start. You going, hey, when you book in, hey mate, I'd love to get this many tats. I've got this much money. Yeah. And even when, like, if your budget changes on, like, and you look in your bank account the day that you're going to get the tat, which has happened before, and you don't have as much as you thought, you just got to say at the start of the appointment, look, I can't spend over this amount. What can I get done for this? And you might just need to adjust the size of the tattoo. You might need to simplify the design a bit more, like, but you can work within those limitations. 100%, and just be honest. I also, say it at the start. As the artist, I always think, when you like have tattooed for a while and you get used to saying numbers, it's like the difference between, say, $300 and $400 when you say it doesn't sound like very much, but to a customer, it's a lot of money. Like as $100, and takes a lot of hours to earn that. And then I think I always say this to everyone: it's like you get such a warped sense of money when you're charging it. It's like, oh, cool, because then you're suddenly like, oh, the difference between $600 and $800, it's, like, oh, whatever, you're just saying that number. And that's like, but the $200, it's a lot of money. Oh, God, So, yeah, I always think transparency. As the artist, I always think it's on us to charge what is a reasonable amount of money. Yeah. And I have no issues with giving quotes on tattoos. Yeah. In DMs or whatever, I'll always say depending on final size or whatnot, because it is really hard to give a quote on when someone sent you a screenshot. You don't know the size and stuff. Yeah. So I would say, transparency from both sides makes a good customer. Ask the questions if you're unsure. I like people who are open. If they have a really specific idea and they want that, then be specific about it. And it doesn't have to be in the message, because to be honest, I don't really read all the messages. I'm like, it's booked in. I'll get to it on the day. Personally, I get really overwhelmed when there's a lot of information in the message, and like people have sent multiple messages, because I'm like, whoa, I'm getting a bit confused here, because it's easier to talk about in person, obviously. 100%.
but just give a brief description of what you want. And if there are specifications, just say there's a few things that I really require.
Yeah.
Or I will be picky about, and that's totally fine. Just be upfront about it.
Yeah.
So that I can plan, and if I know that there's going to be a lot more drawing involved while you're here so that we can go through it together, I'll just need to allow for time for that.
Yeah. So I think for me, I just look for, firstly, a good customer is anyone who wants to get tattooed. So,
yeah.
And then it's on your body forever. So say what you want to say. If you're open and you're happy to get whatever, then that's great. If you want something more specific and you're, I would say, more picky about it, placement, all that sort of stuff, you don't feel like you need to apologize because you want to move the stencil.
No, no way.
That's actually more awkward when people keep apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry, mate.
It is because I couldn't care how many times I move it.
Just part of the job,
I just want you to where it's going.
As long as we get to do the tattoo. This is an interesting one. Top 3 favorite food spots around St Kilda, Melbourne, or the Peninsula.
Oh.
So I'm going to cancel out St Kilda because I don't really, nothing
really does it for us.
There's good food here, but nothing that's what my go-to dream.
Nothing that I crave on my days off and I'm like, oh, I need it.
I've already got mine locked.
You go because you're more picky with your food.
Yep. This is not in any particular order and it's more than 3. Horn Please.
That was going to be my number 1.
Indian restaurant across the road from Edinburgh Gardens in Fitzroy.
Yeah.
They just great Indian restaurant. They do on Sunday nights a
locals banquet.
Well, they call it locals, but anyone can go. It's $25, or it was $25 last week.
I think it's 30.
Well, I remember it being 25.
Yep.
All you can eat banquet, buffet. Sorry, it's a banquet buffet. All you can eat, and every Sunday night, and they just have all the pots of stuff. They serve it for you. It's fucking sick.
It's literally our favorite restaurant.
Yep. Well, it's not my favorite, but it's in my top few.
Fine, hate me, whatever.
So love that place. They also have, I believe, a sister restaurant called Daughter-in-Law.
Yes.
Which they have in Adelaide. They have in where did we go?
Byron.
In Byron Bay, and
they also have
one in Melbourne as well.
They have another one in St Kilda called Babuji.
Yep.
But we ordered from there when we were living in St Kilda, and the menu is slightly different, and we much prefer the Horn Please.
Yep. And I'm very, very routine with what I eat, so I always just order the same shit.
And I'm terrible with spice,
So, Horn Please, love it. Next one on the same street. Well, St George's Road is where Horn Please is. Turns into Brunswick Street, which is in Fitzroy as well.
I can just read your mind. I know these.
Blue Chilies. So I would say it's
it's Malaysian.
It's Malaysian cuisine, but in Melbourne, it's a lot of the cuisines cross over a little bit.
Yeah, it's like Malaysian fusion.
Yes. And that was the first ever restaurant I remember getting takeaway and stuff from when we were younger. And my parents used to get it when their friends came over. And I would just take the pepper okra, which is deep fried peppers, and take them into my room, and I would only eat the batter. Yeah. And I would throw the pepper okras away.
And it has this lovely little egg net sort of thing over it.
Yeah, sick.
Oh, it's so good.
So whenever we're staying in the city or whatever, we get Blue Chilies. So love that place. And I actually saw Daniel Ricciardo there one night, sat next to him.
Yeah.
He was many years ago. And so that's in my heart, my favorite restaurant. Long Grain, which is, again, Asian fusion. It's in the city.
Yeah.
They have one in Sydney as well. And
we prefer the Melbourne one, isn't it?
Well, they have the same menu, so.
No, but it's different setup in the restaurant.
I
can't remember which one's better.
Can't remember. But we do like the Melbourne one. Really good. You can make bookings now. That used to be my pet peeve about restaurants. It was before COVID, you couldn't make fucking bookings. It was walk-ups only. This was so annoying.
We eat early. We're grandparent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so it was all right for us because we go there at 5 o'clock. But
sometimes we've had dinner at 4 or 4:30. So
love Long Grain. And I always think, because it's spelled Longrain.
We've had this discussion so many times.
Is it Long Rain or Long Grain?
I don't know. And I'm going to get it wrong. So
I don't know.
I'm just going to call it Long Grain.
But one of my favourite restaurants, we go there, well, not all the time. We go there
very rarely.
A few times a year.
I would say mainly for our birthdays, we would go. It's like a treat.
I really like the food from Chin Chin. I'm just going to mention it because it's a good restaurant, but I'm not going to put it in my top because it's very crammed in there.
Yes.
So the food, love it. seating, a bit annoying.
You don't like being close to people at all. So
Yeah, we went to the one in Sydney when we were up there guesting with me, Cody, Charles and Luke.
You've gone there every time we've gone to
And
Sydney.
it was really good food, very compact, which detracted from the ability to enjoy the food a little bit.
Yeah, you want a quiet environment where waiters and waitresses don't come to you.
And I don't want to be sitting shoulder to shoulder with some random I don't know.
Yeah.
But do you have any additionals?
The only ones that I'm going to add into the mix is I'm a big fan of Japanese, which Hal has never really been.
No go.
Kampai on Chapel Street. I used to go there.
You used to go there when you were a kid.
I used to go there as a kid, and it is fucking.
So they're like
tits.
Nostalgic. Are they?
Yeah. And I went there like last year, I think it was, and it's still just as good as it was when I was a kid, and I crave it all the time. And then I'm upset that I didn't actually go there this morning because I had the opportunity, but because we had to record the podcast, I didn't really have time. I wanted to go to South of Johnson.
Oh, great. That's a cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
they did say cafes or whatever.
As Hal said before, I used to be a morning person, and breakfast is my favourite meal of the day. And so I wanted that. They're like caramel porridge.
I love South of
heaven.
Johnson. So it's one street south of what am I even thinking?
I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking this time.
So it's not one street south.
It's one street down from Smith Street
yeah.
in Collingwood.
But on the map of Melbourne, it's south of Johnson Street.
Yes.
Yes.
And then
But substantially south.
yeah. And then peninsula based, I'm going to be honest, there's really not that much that wows me.
Well, there's lots of wineries and stuff, but that's always like more fine dining stuff. So they are nice.
One of the wineries that we went to with my parents, what's it called? Rabbit or
I've got no idea.
no? Foxy's Hangout.
Oh, it is a winery technically.
Yeah,
Foxy's Hangout, that was pretty nice.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Small portions though.
Yeah, but
you do fill up. But
we got the chef's tasting menu or whatever,
Yeah.
where they just choose the best stuff and it just comes out, and I really enjoyed that. That was great.
I like that as well. I'm going to be honest though. I don't like when it's lots of
Small portions.
Lots of small portions of things that you
Normally
ultimately
I
do
don't.
fill up. I'd rather like 2 portions, but they're massive.
Yeah, normally I don't like that, but I really did enjoy everything that was on offer then.
The one
so
in-
I wanted to throw that
What's
in.
the place we go to in Flinders? It's really nice Italian.
Oh, Donna Maria.
Donna Maria.
Love Donna Maria.
Really, really good. Like a little bit more on the expensive side. So you
A little bit more
can't-
pricey.
you
It's like
can't-
it's not fine dining,
wouldn't
but it
go
is.
there
Yeah.
flat out. But
Yeah, we go there for family meals on
Yeah.
when mum and dad pay.
really nice.
And then one more, which Hal, I've tried to take you to before, but you got really impatient because it was super busy. So we left. It's which happens quite often. It's Summers General Store. In Summers.
I've been there before.
Yes, you have been before, but not with
It's
me.
like the only fucking cafe in Summers. So it was like we went there one morning and it was like literally.
It was like a long
they were
weekend.
Like it's
It
like
was a bit of a
an hour and a
mistake.
half wait, and I was like, I'm not gonna fucking wait.
Yeah, well, it was a 30-minute wait, and he.
Can I just say
Didn't
one
want
that
to.
we haven't mentioned? Luxor King.
Oh,
So Luxor
Damn.
King, obviously they make Luxors. The OG one is in Flemington.
which we used to go to all the time when we lived in
Yeah,
Collingwood.
fucking good. Annoying, you can't get I can't make a reservation, but like
And
the
parking's a bit
turnover is so quick.
The chicken roddy there,
And it's
heaven.
like very cheap. $12, you'd be fucking loaded. Or like say $20 and you've got more food
You're
than you need.
stuffed.
They have one now at Southland.
Yeah, which we've gone to a few times, but the Flemington one's
The
way
ambience
better.
in Southland, because it's like, I don't like malls.
We don't like shopping centres.
So, but the food can't knock it, honestly.
Yeah,
Fucking so good.
and it's just the same
Yeah.
every time.
They're all the ones that
They are our
in
main
the top of
go-tos.
my head.
There's nothing I can think of that...
There's lots of restaurants and stuff that I
Oh,
like.
actually, our fish and chippies down the beach. That's another one of our regulars.
What's it called?
It's called 3941 Takeaway,
Yeah.
and it's like back beach rye. It's like right near our house.
It just does good fish and chips. They do pizzas. I haven't got a pizza from there.
No, we've only ever got the barramundi burgers and
Yeah.
dimmies.
Pretty good though. Just classic fish and chips. I'd
Yeah,
say.
not like super naughty.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
This isn't
Now
a
I'm
question.
hungry.
This is a statement.
Oh,
Loving the podcast, man. To be honest, I've listened to most of the episodes twice.
damn.
Yeah. So
Keen.
this one's from Running Sucks, who I tattoo.
I agree, running does suck.
Well, he was saying, so he's going to Japan to do the marathon in Japan. I don't know what it's called in a few weeks. But he also surfs. And he goes, "What kind of boards are you riding at the moment?" Back to surfing.
Whoopah.
So I actually bought a new surfboard the other day.
Yep, you did.
And I think it's going to arrive today, I hope.
Sorry, how many surfboards have you purchased this year?
Well,
and mind you, we are in April.
Let's start off, Bella, by saying how many surfboards have I sold this year
to
fund buying new boards.
That is irrelevant, Hal, because the new ones you're buying are 2 to 3 times the price of the ones that you sold.
No.
Yes, I know how it works. You're
Bella,
keeping secrets.
This surfboard that I bought was for my birthday, which is in a few months.
I did say you could get this for your birthday.
You also then tried to tell me to buy a sauna additionally to that.
Just because you won't stop talking about it, and I'm sick of hearing about it. So I just want it done.
I got a new board coming from Nuevo Camino, Gold Coast Shaper. He shaped me a board
To match your truck.
to match my truck, and I love it. It's a twin fin. And I took it up to Byron, surfed at Lennox, had lots of fun on it. And after that trip, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I want to get another one. So I got another one made, and he said, colors, what do you want? Blah, blah. And I got red. It's like patinaed, so like it looks like the paint's sort of like scraping off and stuff like that. It's got white underneath, so really happy with that.
Is that where you got the inspo to paint your board the other day?
No. And hang on, some other people have walked in. We've got Mitch, we've got Hallie.
And we got Charlie.
And Charles. Pipe down, mate.
Yeah, someone's
Sorry,
been told.
that sounded very rude, but so I've got the new book coming from him. I hope it comes this week. So I've got 2 Nuevo Caminos.
It always arrives within the week that he says he sent it.
Yeah,
so.
the courier is very good. And I've then got Darren Hanley Designs, DHD, Aussie Shaper, shapes of Mick Fanning, Steph Gilmore, all of that.
So you felt like you needed a really
Yeah, I just sort of go represent Australia a bit more. And it is the Black Diamond epoxy. This is getting a bit specific.
Wait, do you have this one right now?
Yeah, this is one I ride mostly.
Oh.
Rode it yesterday morning.
I'm like thinking like you don't have a blackboard, but
No, that's what it's called, the Black Diamond epoxy.
Silly.
And I love riding that board. It's a 510, 32, 33 litres, something like that.
Gnarly, man.
I've got the surfboard that your parents bought me for one
Your
of my
21st birthday.
21st. We're in Bali. They got me a 7.2 single fin from the Deus Temple, which I love that board. And I actually really just got it like refurbished the other day because I fucking smashed
You had a
the shit
few
out of it.
dings on it.
Yeah, and I went and got them all done.
Silly Billy.
Colour matched everything. So really love that board. I've got a 10 or 9.8, so 9 foot 8 inches Thomas longboard, which I don't ride very often, but it is very fun to ride.
I always forget that you have that one.
And then I've got a Greg Christensen. No, sorry, wrong name, wrong shaper. I've got a Corey Graham twin fin fish that my mate J-Boy got made, and I got it off him.
Yeah, I do like that one.
And it's got the little eagle that I painted. It's glassed underneath.
Yeah, he got it like custom.
Yeah. So the go-tos at the moment are the Nuevo Caminos and the DHD Black Diamond. If anyone is interested. Here we go. This is actually, I think about this all the time. Shoes on or shoes off when tattooing leg tats?
I do think about this all the time. And my answer is it depends on how smelly your socks and feet are.
Oh, I'm 100% shoes on every single time.
But, so sometimes I go shoes off and I just cop the smelly feet. But it depends on if you're wearing pristine white shoes or like clean brand new shoes, I'm going shoes off because I'm not ruining them.
No way. I'm going shoes on every time. Unless I request you to take them off, leave them on. Because it's weird. Otherwise, you're like got your sock in my face.
Yeah, and it stinks, but I don't.
It doesn't always stink. It's
Well,
just
most of the time it's a bit pongy, but that's just a part of the job, which is fine. But I'll jump between, mainly because I don't want to fuck up your shoes. Hal doesn't really care. He's like, hey, you chose to wear them. That's on you.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to fuck them up. If they're brand new and stuff, I'll put glad wrap around them if I feel like I'm going to get fucking
Yeah, maybe I
ink
should
on
just
them
glad wrap
or
it.
whatever. But I'm not. Shoes on always.
With the nausea lately,
Yeah.
I'm going to glad wrap your shoes, people. I don't want to be gagging on you.
This one's an honest review, and I like it.
Oh, God.
Listen to it weekly at work. Apprenticeship questions getting a bit old, but So in Australia, people use the term but at the end of a sentence to say like though, essentially.
Yeah. Wait, what is he saying? Apprenticeship questions are getting old.
Because we talk about, people always ask about apprenticeships.
So he's sick of hearing about apprenticeships.
Yes. Yeah. And I said, you know what? When I heard that, I was like, you know what? That's true. We do talk about it too much.
Yeah, it is one that you get asked a lot.
So for the apprenticeships, go back, listen to previous episodes, and you'll get some answers on that. But thank you, Lawsy Shorty, for that.
For the feedback, no more apprentices. Get out.
So this is the confusing one for me. So this guy's Insta name is c.hill.out. So chill out. But I always read it.
You've gone through this.
I read it as Cody Hill.
Yeah, you've gone through this
so
like 3 times.
So I always think Cody's messaging me some questions. Worst/weirdest experience you've ever had in the shop, either working or getting tattooed? Well, there's a lot. I don't know if I could pick the worst one.
There's a lot of not ideal situations. You get thrown some interesting characters, especially being in St Kilda now.
Yeah. Oh, mine wouldn't be recent. Be old.
Yeah.
I'd just say worst experience is when like you're doing a tattoo and you feel like you're fucking it up when you're starting.
I've had a customer burp in my face before.
If you're putting that as your worst experience.
No, I'm not putting that as my worst. I'm putting it as like
the question
not
is
ideal.
Worst or weirdest.
No, I can't talk about my worst because that is just rude because the person might be listening. And I don't want them to hate me.
You can't just say like weird hygiene things. It's like
I've had someone kick me in the face while I was tattooing
someone
them.
burped in the shop once.
No, it was in my face. It was like 10 centimeters away from my face.
Come on.
Yeah, someone kicked me in the face once when I was tattooing them.
You don't know. You can't remember. There's so many. It's like there's not necessarily worse. There's only one worst.
I've had someone when I was tattooing them tell me that your tattoos are way better than mine. And I was instantly just like, cool, how about you fuck off and go get tattooed by him then? And I have not tattooed that person since, and I never will.
Yeah, I tattoo him every week now.
I was also an apprentice at the time, so I wanted to just like look at them and be like, obviously, mate, like, what do you think?
My worst experience in my mind is we spoke about it in the pilot episode when I was doing my first ever back piece, and the guy was crying and his dad was yelling at him.
Nah, you've had worse than that.
Nah, that's like burned into my mind.
It is ingrained in your mind.
It was just a bad experience. So if you want to hear about that, you can go back to the first episode. Lots of weird experiences, lots and lots, but you sort of just like, you just get used to them.
Yeah, really, you become numb.
Yeah, you just like, Smith Locke, who you tattooed yesterday, he said, are you ready to get tubed? And I want to say this, well, I did yesterday.
Did ya?
Yeah.
You don't really get many barrels.
I don't. Never had.
You don't really like barrels
Never been
either.
fully tubed in the ocean. In urban surf, yes, but.
Is that why you were so chirpy yesterday morning?
Bella, I'm telling you, it was a fantastic session. And Lockie decided not to come.
Yeah, no, do you know what? I feel really guilty.
Yeah, it was your fault in the end. I've spoken to him about it since.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. I'm really happy about that.
What happened was he was going to come surfing down our way, which is
he lives like near the airport.
A long way from where he lives, probably 2-hour drive from his place. He then would have to drive back to where he lives to then drive back to Mordialloc, which is an hour and a half from where he lives, to get tattooed by you. But then you ended up moving your session
at like
to tattoo
10 a.m. I
Carlisle.
messaged saying, hey, I've actually got to be in Paran for this pottery thing at 6. Is it easier for you to go to Carlisle?
So then he was like, fuck, he would have come surfing if he knew that. And his mate Damo came and we were out there going, fuck, mate, Locke's missed out. Because
Locke, I'm sorry.
He's got a broken back at the moment. Stress fractures, not anything hectic. That sounds like fucked. He's snapped his spine at the moment. No. So he can't surf like heavy waves and stuff, but this is some of the best fucking beach breaks I've ever surfed.
Sorry.
And
next time, if you would prefer it to be at a specific location, Locke, you just tell me and I'll make it happen, mate.
And can I just say, Damo, he caught the best wave I've ever seen him catch. And I could have taken it, but I gave it to him.
You're so nice, Hal.
I'm not even kidding. I was paddling back out after catching a wave and I saw Ariel do this small bottom turn, little stall and tuck into a legit pit. Barreled.
Sick,
He didn't make it out, but just to see, I was like, mate, I'm that impressed.
Where did you surf?
Allison Ave. It's a beach break. It's a street just near. It's our closest to our house. Everyone doubted me on the call and I was like, no, it's going to be fucking good. And then I pulled in.
It's because you're a local, you know all the good spots now.
Didn't make it out, but really happy. Really happy with that. I've just got to go out of my notes here quickly to go to the new things that I've screenshot.
This whole time we've been recording, you've had like a little bit of fluff hanging from your chin, and I can't stop staring at it. So, that's so nice pulling it off. Finally, you don't look like a goose.
Yeah. This is a weird one from Skatebird P.
What?
How do you read this up here?
Skatebird P.
Is it?
Skate, BRD, bird, _ P.
Skatebird. Okay.
Skatebird. Like a bird flying.
And I don't agree with this at all, but how did Hal get so into fashion? Love the way you dress.
This is a fucking, this is a joke because Hal wears my clothes or I buy his clothes.
It's not true at all, Bella. You wear my clothes.
Is absolutely true.
No. So the funny thing about this is
you're like known as the fashion guy.
I've been thinking what I've been wearing. I get to work every day recently. I'm like, what the fuck am I wearing? I've got the shittest clothes on. And everyone's been making fun of me at work about what I'm wearing, with the exception of Charles, because he always backs me up on it. He's like, wear what you want to wear. But I'm like, the other day I walked out of the house, you're like, what the fuck are those shoes you're wearing? And I was like, what do you mean?
There are a few items
they were like,
in
you
your
look
wardrobe.
so weird wearing a auto, so I had to go change my shoes.
What ones were they?
The all black Converse.
Yeah,
and I do agree, when I wear them, they look a bit weird.
I do not like them.
And then I was at work the other day and you were like, what are you wearing? And all this shit. And I was like, fuck. And I know it. I know. I'm like, just not working.
Well, it's not as if I can speak. At the moment, none of my pants really do up. So I just look like a sack of shit.
You've been eating a bit much.
Yeah. Been smashing Maccas too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've both slipped.
So I appreciate the compliment, but I think about this a lot. I don't even know what my style is.
We wear the same shit every day because we get ink on us.
Partially
and
go through I want to wear practical clothes for working. So I can't wear long sleeves and shit while I'm tattooing.
And then every now and then you'll get dressy one day.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, it's like practical stuff.
Yeah.
But then I'm not into Gorpcore.
No.
Which Mickey wears here.
Yeah.
A few of the boys.
You did buy a few things when we were in Byron though, which were nice.
Yeah, but I always buy stuff and I'm like, this is good casual wear to wear when I'm not working, but because we work most days, it's like I wear some of that shit to work. I'm like, this is not good to work in.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what my fashion is.
We mainly wear the same things to work.
Yeah. The photos you see of me are only on days where I'm like, all right, I'm somewhat happy to put a photo out. Someone's written, video version is needed. And I agree, but it's not coming soon. So apologies.
It ain't happening.
Lots of people writing similar things, and we really do appreciate saying that.
Courtney's just walked in. Guess what, Courtney? I gave you another plug.
Yeah. The Pottery Girls.
I'll send you the invoice later.
People saying they like the podcast, which really appreciate. This is an interesting one. Was good to hear someone new. So I assume
Mickey?
there are a few talking about Mickey.
See, I told you people are going to get sick of our voices.
They are, but I don't want it to be just the interview thing.
Yeah, I get
because
that.
then this was advice Dylan gave me at the start was if it's just an interview thing, then you rely
on other people
to be able to do an episode. It's the same questions, and then you just become like a journalist essentially.
Which we have faced a few times. We've had someone like locked in and last minute plans have changed.
Yeah, which is fine.
And so
if we can just get used to us feeling comfortable chatting. And the other thing
I'm pretty comfortable chatting to you, Hal.
Outside of this being listened to by other people, which I guess is the goal, this is like the most me and Bella ever talk.
Yeah, Hal doesn't really talk to me when we're at home or like in the car. We spend 3 hours a day in the car, and I'm not allowed to talk when he's listening to the radio because it's the news. I'm not allowed to talk when there's a podcast on because he's learning things. And the music, I'm not allowed to talk through because he's enjoying the songs. And then his other excuse is, this is my quiet time. I talk to people all day at work. And then we get home and he's like, oh my God, you haven't stopped talking all day. I've been in the shop with you, listening to you talk to other people. So I'm like, fuck, all right, I'll just go shut up and sit in the corner.
If you want to hear me talk, Bella, there's 15 episodes you can go back and listen to.
Fuck off.
All of that stuff Bella said is not true, by the way.
It is true.
Yeah. Then the second part of the question, which you interrupted.
Yep, as always.
They said, was it a learning curve learning how to paint? And yes, of course.
Absolutely, mate.
Yeah. So, yeah, it is. Just like learning anything, learning to paint. It's a process. You should see the first paintings I ever did. You never will see them.
No, we have a few.
No, you don't.
I do actually.
No, you don't.
I have some of the Homer Simpson ones and stuff like
No,
that.
they were from when I was already in the shop.
That's more embarrassing for you.
Years before that, Bella. Most fuck shit you've ever seen.
There'll be one. Your mum will have one somewhere.
This guy listens to it while he delivers mail at work.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone asking about apprenticeships again.
Not allowed to talk about it.
No.
Sorry, banned.
They actually said, this is different though. They said any apprentices to look out for, like up and comers.
Yeah, ours.
Well, yeah, there's lots of people out there learning to tattoo that do really good tattoos. I think the progression these days of young tattooers is fucking through the roof. But any of the young people at the shop here, I would recommend checking out. Scott, she's not apprentice anymore. She just finished her apprenticeship the other week. Scott Moss's apprentice, Ronnie Bruce. Really nice person. Is doing really good tattoos and stuff.
In Golden
So
Heart.
she works at Golden Heart
In Cranbourne.
in Cranbourne with Scott. So yeah, definitely would recommend her. Another bloke we've had come up here, Mr. Two Heads. I don't consider him an apprentice, but he still reckons
no
he
way
is.
an apprentice.
From Tasmania.
He needs to get rid of that title.
Off the top of my head, they're all the young people that I see regularly doing tattoos that I would like to be doing. This is a good one. Who are your both favourite Aussie hardcore bands?
God, don't ask me music questions.
What's your favourite hardcore song, Bella?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. You were going to get it tattooed across your stomach.
Vendetta.
Yeah, by? Irate.
Thank you.
It's funny. I'm glad you didn't get it tattooed on your stomach, considering you don't actually know. You know all the lyrics, but you're not like a music person. So you
I'm
don't know
not
the
a music
bands and
person.
stuff.
Whatever happens in the world, I will never be able to tell you the name of a song or who sings it.
Yeah. So mine, we're saying Aussie hardcore, aren't we? Look. I'm going to say I'm not into like pure hardcore. I am sometimes, but I'm more into like metalcore, where I was when I was younger. So like
You're so cool.
old Parkway Drive, old Amity Affliction. We'll say them.
Yeah.
They're like, if I was to like go and listen to it, I'd be listening to that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I still listen to the stuff that I listened to when I was like in my teenage years.
The real stripped back hardcore, which is very popular at the moment, is not like 100% my thing.
Yeah.
I do like it, but it's not what I would pick to listen to.
Yeah. What's the song that I'm loving at the moment by Creed?
That is not hardcore, Bella.
No, it's just a song that I'm liking at the moment.
I believe it's called One Last Breath.
Yeah. I like
by
it.
Creed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Creed.
Yeah, so Bella's favourite Aussie hardcore band and song is One Last Breath by Creed.
I know they're not Aussie hardcore, you dick brain.
It's on my favourites list on my Spotify.
It's on mine too.
Yeah. Well, someone gave it 10 out of 10, which is crazy.
Do you know what? Last night at Pottery, there were so many songs that are in my favourites list on Spotify that we were listening to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
on their playlist?
Yeah. And I was literally just bopping along and Courtney was laughing at me like singing to myself and I was like, fuck, this is so embarrassing.
I'm not going to read out all the people saying nice things because they're just so self-indulgent.
Yeah. You've done enough of that today.
Violet, which has a 10 in it. I think from memory, his name's Damien, and I've tattooed him many years ago. He said, "I absolutely love it. You got I shouldn't have read the first bit because it's too nice."
Oh my god, Hal.
But the question was, do you miss HBC? Any cycling plans? And the answer is HBC is Hunter Bro Cycling. It's a family-run business that I did with my brother and my dad for 8 years.
Yeah. We've gone over it.
We've
more
spoken about
previous.
it in an episode. And my brother's back in Australia now, so I wouldn't mind getting him on, talking about some funny stories because there is some fucked up stories from Hunter Brothers.
Yep.
Of
There's
like
many.
some very, very embarrassing things we did. Very
and like
embarrassing
fucked
moments.
up travelling stories.
Yeah. If you've ever been embarrassed on a national scale, then
You'd understand.
you would understand how I felt. We had this one. I'll tell it now. It was actually my last international flight, I believe. No, it wasn't. We went to New Zealand last year.
Silly
Previous to
goose.
that was before. It was before COVID. So we got invited to go and race a race in China, mainland China. And we were like, oh, we've never been to China. So we flew there. I believe we flew to Shanghai, and then we flew into the middle of China, essentially, to this. And I had no perspective on what like China was like as a country and stuff like that. Very naive. And we got invited to race there. We flew there. It was me. Fuck, I can't even remember. Oh,
It was you, your dad, your brother, Ferg, and Harry.
no, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. No, we had a guy from Sydney, Sean came, and we had a guy come, Connor, to do photo and video. Yeah. That was it. Ferg and Harry didn't come.
Cool. Well, I'm wrong.
No.
Oh my God, it doesn't matter anyway. Just continue the
Can't
story,
remember
mate.
whether they came. Anyway, we went to race
People don't
in
even
China.
know who these people are.
Yeah. Anyway, we went to China, and it was all good trip and everything like that. It was a big culture shock for me, massive, and I really struggled obviously with the language barrier. But
You were also vegetarian at the time.
I had Starbucks there, so I just ate Starbucks every day. Yeah, and the flight home though was so fucked. So flying from, I can't remember actually where we were in China. It was like a 2-hour flight back to Shanghai, and then we had a obviously connecting flight through to Australia. And the turbulence on this flight was so fucked. Like, and it was from memory. It was like we were sitting in the dead last seats, which is always the most bumpy. And I don't like flying in general, but I remember ending the flight. I'd cried legitimately.
And I've only seen you cry a few times.
Yeah, I had
life.
my shirt off because I was that hot. And there was fucking like drinks tipped all over the floor and shit like that. This turbulence was so fucked, but they kept trying to do the drink service every time it would calm down. And people were getting drinks spilt on them. And I actually thought we were going to die. And when we came into land, I feel like I was looking at the window, we came in like a 45-degree angle. And I always am aware that when you land, it's going to be a little bit rough or whatever. And I'm like, fuck, I always think, imagine if it just like veered off to one side or something. But we came in and it was like we hit the ground and it whipped the whole back of the plane back around. And it was so violent. And I got off that plane. I remember we were walking through, we go through customs, and then there's these other Aussie dudes in the line to get onto the next plane. And they were like, hey, Aussies. And they were trying to talk to us. And I didn't say a single word. And I just went and sat by myself. I had a bowl of noodles and I was like, contemplating not getting back on the plane.
I remember you messaged me when you landed, and you legitimately, the message in my head was like, oh my God, I thought I was just about to die. I just had the most fucked flight of my life. Can't talk about it. I'm too rattled. I cried and I was shirtless.
It was
And I was just like,
bad time.
Cool, have a safe trip home.
So I've got about 100 experiences like that with Hunter Brothers. Any cycling plans? Yes, we do miss Hunter Brothers is the answer. Any cycling plans? No. Not riding at the moment, haven't ridden in a while. It's very time consuming, and
you're on the surfing train.
Well, no, surfing's just relaxed for me, you know. But yeah, we'll probably end it there because we got to get to work. Well, we are at work, but we got to start, and everyone else is sitting here.
Got to do things.
And I was looking at this because this is a screenshot, and it said 8:30 in the top thing from last night, and I was like, it's only fucking 8:30 in the morning.
No.
No, it's 9:40. And Courtney's got a tattoo in 10 minutes. So hopefully, yeah, that answered a lot of your questions. We got more to hit back and stuff, so we'll do them in next episodes. But yeah, we dropped a lot of info on this episode, Bella.
We did.
So
dropped some bombs.
Yeah, rate the podcast.
Like, follow, subscribe.
Yep.
Give us a shout out.
Yeah.
Share it to your friends and family and your most hated people.
Hopefully you enjoy it, and we will speak to you next week.
Yes, we will.
This episode is brought to you by Carlisle Tattoo Co. 178 Carlisle Street, St Kilda, Melbourne, Australia.